So you have decided to get a new phone and it needs to be an iPhone, but you're not sure which model to get. Whether to get an iPhone 15 and have the latest tech, or get an iPhone 14 and save some money in the process. Well, who cares about that Unibro anyway? Before we start, let us get the elephant out of the room that costs rupees 10,000 or $100. Yes, the price difference between the two models. Well, that would be the only reason for anyone to select the previous generation phones, isn't it? So, with an anticipation of getting a new phone and still having some cash left in the pocket, let us begin. Already having an iPhone 14 and considering an iPhone 15 is like remarrying your better half and expecting drastic changes in your life. If you like that look in the old dress, you probably are going to like this yours too. If you don't, you may want to change your partner and face the consequences. They have the same old overall design appeal with little curves around the edges of iPhone 15 that may have formed after working out. It feels good to hold iPhone 15 for a longer duration as compared to the iPhone 14. I should renew my gym membership, I guess. The dynamic island and the USB-C are the two new accessories that the iPhones are carrying this year, ditching the lightning connector and the Unibro notch after the years of usage. The clothes on 15 have changed to somewhat matte finish instead of a glossy finish, with the colors that have lost all their brightness after a hard detergent wash. You may like the brighter colors on 14s more than the bleached colors on the 15s. It is just a personal preference, and you may love the glossy design as compared to the matte finish on the 15s. Again, that boils down to the personal preference. There is no one design philosophy here. There is the same switch to kill the sound and vibrate your senses, and the same rocker position to turn the volume up and down. Well, that's pretty much it. After all, the dress is new, but the partner is the same. So if you like the muted colors with a matte finish, the iPhone 15 is for you. If you prefer having a flashy design, you may choose the iPhone 14. If you don't care, well, keep hooked to the video. Maybe you find something else to be the deciding factor. Let's talk about displays. If you take the dynamic island out of the buffet, this would be exactly the same supper you had the last year. Not exactly the same. This year, it's a bit more spicier. The same 60 Hz refresh rate for which you may pull your hair, but hey, let the company have some additional features for the Pro models. After all, they are the Pro models. But Apple, the regular iPhones are not cheap. Same dimensions, 6.1 for the smaller ones and 6.7 for the bigger brothers. Except for this year, they come with some extra toppings in terms of some extra brightness, which in reality is quite noticeable. Under the direct sunlight. You will struggle a bit less while trying to figure out what's on the screen. And that is the extra spice I was referring to initially. Come on, don't fight. 4:45 in the morning and the dogs on the street are fighting. And Stoner has gone for the defense. Stoner, let's talk about performance. Did I mention the formation of a few curves? Well, that would be a subtle change. Quite similar to the subtle change one would notice after working out for a while. That would be it. It would be really hard to think of a big performance boost between the processors of consecutive generations. Both phones perform quite similarly. Whether gaming or day-to-day use, you may have a hard time pointing out the difference between the two. The only benefit of this newer chip I can think of is an extra year of software support down the line in 5 years. Yes, even more than that. Is that the reason for you to choose an iPhone 15 over iPhone 14? Come on, when was the last time you changed your phone because you stopped getting upgrades for the one that you already have? Did you? No, I respect you. I seriously respect you. That is an example of being happy with what you have and not being influenced by the guy on YouTube trying to convince you to get the latest gadget available in the market. When was the last time I used a phone for that long? HTC Desire HD maybe? Nevertheless, you should not be worried about the performance in totality, and it should not at all be the deciding factor between the two phones. You can get either the iPhone 14 or the iPhone 15, gaming, browsing, entertainment, you name it. No difference that one would notice. Period. Let's talk about camera.
Stupid! The iPhone camera.
Let's go out and capture some photos and some footages. Stoner? Come here. Aja. I can't see much difference.
Crop. Digital crop.
Oh yes, the battery. So you ran 1 mile every day for a month. And guess what? The next month you could run a little bit more. The next a bit more. I know you guessed it. There is a slight improvement in the battery performance of iPhone 15 over the iPhone 14. So if that is of importance, go ahead and get an iPhone 15 for yourself. But if you want to see the exceptional performance, have the iPhone 15 Plus at your service. This will give the best battery performance on any iPhone since many generations. One can even use these phones as a power bank to charge other devices like your AirPods or Apple Watch thanks to the new USB-C connector. But that should be reserved for the days when it is unavoidable. I mean, the battery performance is good, but it is there just to get you through the day or a day and a half and not provide you with the efficiency experience you get when you switch your old petrol engine car to the hybrid one. For an average user though, who does not thrash his or her phone with the unbearable tasks of catastrophe, iPhone 15 should easily get you through the day, and iPhone 15 Plus may last for a day and a half on a single charge. If you are a casual user, the battery performance of iPhone 14 too won't disappoint you. Well, that's too much to grab. Let's focus on the key points now. You get an iPhone 15 if you prefer the dynamic island over the notch. 2. You can't live without the Type-C connector. 3. You prefer a matte finish over the glossy design. 4. Your day-to-day use demands that extra brightness. 5. That little juice in the battery is significant enough for you. And last, that 48 megapixel sensor is of use to you. I mean, if you like to edit and crop your photos before using them. And you get an iPhone 14 if you prefer the glossy and vibrant colors over the matte and dull finish. 2. You prefer the notch and don't care about the dynamic island. 3. You post images on social media accounts straight out of the camera without editing, and if cropping is not your thing. And 4. Having those 10,000 rupees or $100 feels much better than having the latest tech and features that you don't need. My personal choice is iPhone 15 over the iPhone 14, mainly because of the camera, because I like to edit photos before I use them and post on social media accounts, and digital zoom and cropping is major part of it, and I really prefer the matte finish on the back panel rather than the glossy ones. In my previous video, I reviewed the iPhone 15 Plus. Do check it out. I hope this video helps you to make a choice between the two devices. And if it does, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel to help the channel to grow. See you again in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.